Okay, so it took about 15 minutes maybe to make that dry, and you see now it's nice firm lip around the bottom there, and around the top. I'm sorry, my sand is sort of in my way here of me showing you this. And again, I got some, where this was wet, it's got some sand on it in the front, but we don't really care about that. Okay, so your next job with this is to coat the inside of this entirely with a thin layer of your Vaseline, your petroleum jelly again. I cannot stress enough, you have to do this. If you don't do this, you will not have a plaster mold like that, like your face casts over there and different things. When you're done, you will have a mess because this plaster will adhere to the plaster that you're going to pour in here. So I'm just going to take my hands and I'm going to slide this out of the way so you can see a little better. Okay. Yeah, I think that's better. You just want to really coat all of your surfaces with a nice thin coating of the Vaseline. Okay, so I'm just rubbing it around there. The tricky place is going to be up in this nose, but we will have available for you a little paintbrush that is used only for the Vaseline, and I'll show you that in a minute after I get all of this coated. Just working it all around all the places. You don't want it to be a real thick coating because that may actually show up in your final mold. You just want it to be, make sure that all of the plaster areas are covered with it so that it will not, so that your liquid plaster will not stick to it. Get them up there, especially these bits that I put on that are kind of rough, that new piece up at the top. I am going to be a little thicker up there than I might be in other places. I'm going to get down inside of the nose here as far as I can with my hand. My hand's pretty small. I can actually do an okay job coating down in there just fine with my hand. If I didn't, if I needed to, I could take this little brush right here and go down in there and get into smaller places. But I got these tiny little gnarly fingers. They fit in all these places, and I think that I'm going to be just fine with doing it with my fingers. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to get my hands wiped off here. And I'm going to now reposition this so you can see it maybe. Okay. And now I'm going to seriously set this up down into the sand. So I'm going to dig out so that I can get the nose way down in there like that. Okay. And again, I'm being careful. I'm not wanting to get sand inside of the mask. Okay. And I'm just sort of pulling it up around. And then I can kind of adjust it. This is a see-through tub, which is nice because I can kind of see what I'm doing. And that's looking pretty good. Okay, so this is now all ready for me to mix my plaster, which I'm going to reposition my camera so that you can see that a little better. It's not sort of a close-up thing like this work was, and we'll be back with that video in just a minute.